Hey everybody, Mike Toy, Bonsai Boise. So I thought I would do an update and a trim on this crabapple tree that I bought from Costco around 2020. So come with me, let's get to looking at it, figure out a plan, and do some trimming. Okay, so here's the tree. I'll give you a close-up here in a second, but I put this stick right here to mark where the front was going to be. And I'm glad I did because I couldn't remember. But a short history on this. This used to be about 6 feet tall or so, and I chopped it down in the summer of 2022. And also I crammed it into this pot, and that was when I had to move all my trees to my north-facing patio, so I just had to make room. And since then, I've just let it grow. I haven't trimmed it at all, as you can see. So it's grown out quite a bit. Luckily, it survived, and it's healthy again. Now there's back in full sun. So since then, I've realized a couple things. I originally thought that this tree was a graft. So right here is where I thought it was grafted, and I thought that the native branches were coming back. But as I looked closer at the native, what I thought was the native branches and these branches, I see they're the same. So now I'm not so sure that it is a graft. So let me give you a look on the inside here. Okay, so here's a little closer look. This being the front, which I think is still going to be the front. We'll see once we start trimming here. Make some room, like so. Kind of look like this. Here's a look at what I thought were native branches coming back. And here is a look at what I thought were grafted branches. If I can get it to focus here. Now, the tips of them are different colors, but otherwise the pattern is basically the same. So I don't think it's a graft anymore. It's kind of what I'm getting at. It sure looks like it though. Maybe I should trim it first and then we'll take a look. But as you can see, I thought that was the graft right there coming across. It sort of just looks like it. If you've ever noticed a grafted tree, that's kind of what it looks like. But now I'm not so sure. And really, it's neither here nor there. Kind of doesn't matter. So as far as the plan goes, this was the front that I designated a year and a half ago or so. And I think that's still going to be the case. This being the leader up here, this being more of a auxiliary sort of side branch. Same with this. These, I don't know if I'm going to keep or not yet. Let's get to trimming though. All right, so with this being the front, let's right off the bat get rid of branches that we know are not going to be used because they're coming back inward. Let's take it back to there for a second and look at it. What I don't like about this, I try and start from the bottom and work my way up whenever possible. I think for now I'm going to leave this, and although I'm going to contradict what I just said, I'm going to leave this for last because I might use this as a sacrificial branch to help thicken up the trunk base even more. Haven't decided yet, we'll come back to it. So for now we're going to pretend like it's not there, and we're just going to focus on this. What I do and don't like about this, I like the position that it's in. I don't like how long and straight it gets. Luckily, it's got a lot of branching at the bottom, so we can afford to get rid of some. So I'm going to take it back rather severe, like that. And then it still goes way out here. Take it back further. And the reason I'm taking it back is that I don't really care for the long, straight branches. I like movement in them. And you get movement by making chops. When you make a chop, now it's going to grow from whatever spot you chopped it. So it's going to grow in a slightly different direction. And then you let it grow out, and you do that again later, and then you get movement again. And that's how you get the cool movement throughout a tree. I might take it back more because we've got 1, 2, 3 branches coming off of this. I think I will take it back more. at least a little more, because we can afford to. Okay, that's good for now, and we'll do a second pass at it once we get it in rough shape, and we'll make more decisions. Now, with this being the front, first question is, do we still want that as the front? I'm actually kind of thinking, no, the more I look at it. Because we've got this little side branch, we've got this side branch, and we've got this as basically what would be the leader. I'm thinking the front should be somewhere in here. Yeah. So right off the bat, I'm kind of thinking we need to move that. So I'm going to move it. I'm going to contradict myself from last summer and say you were wrong. The new me is right. Okay, so now we're operating, thinking that is the front. So let's take these branches back a bit. I don't have to be too picky about this at the moment because I know we're going to take all of them back anyway. Ooh, there's a big old spider in there. Let's see if I can show you the spider without freaking out. Not sure if you can see that or not. I'm going to just cut the leaf that he's on. He's on that one right there. He sees me coming. Gone. Sorry, spider. Nothing personal. I just don't like spiders. Don't really care for them. All right. So that being the front. So let's look at this branch here for a second. Another example of how you've got this long, straight branch with other branches coming off the sides. I'm glad it's got these branches coming off the sides. It gives us options. If we didn't have those, and it was just one long, straight branch, we wouldn't have as many options. We could take it back to like maybe there. Since we got all these, we can take it back much further. So I'm going to take it back for a moment to here. We'll see how that looks, and I might take it back another node or two. It's a big cut. I know I don't want branches going back inward. Don't want that. So I am actually going to take that off, the whole thing, at least from that point on. So there we go. This branch is actually a bit too close to the trunk, so I am going to lose that. I'm just going to pull it off. There we go. That was easy. Because we're doing the clip and grow method, we're more or less betting on it growing from the last cut point, which would be here, which means it would grow in this direction, which I don't really want. I'd rather it come back this way. I'm going to go back just a little further. And you don't really know. Sometimes they just have a mind of their own and they decide to grow in whatever way they want. And if that's the case, then you just try again next time. Okay, so we've taken it back quite a bit there. This guy's going to be in our way, I think. Okay, so if this is the front, this is going to be the main leader branch. The thing I don't like about it, though, is I don't like how it's kind of a 90-degree turn right there. That's a bit sharp. So what I'm thinking we could do to reduce the sharpness of that is if we took it back to like there, and it would follow this part as the leader, which we can do because we got a lot of branches there to choose from. So we're going to do it. Can't undo it. It's already done. Got a lot of branches coming out. In fact, we've got that branch is too close, so get rid of that. Take this one back a bit to there for now. We'll fine tune it. And here, I gotta choose which one is going to be the leader. This one or this one. In fact, let me get rid of that. That was the branch that was too close to the main trunk. I left a little nub. Didn't see it at first. There we go. We reduce both of these for a moment. And then decide. So pretend that's not there. This being the front. I think I want this one to be the leader because I want it to go, it goes up, up, cuts over, up again. I want it to cut over more. I definitely don't want it to come back like these two. So I want it to go out that way. I think we might just leave this one how it is and take these back. Like so. And I'd actually lose that one altogether. I think we will. Like that. So pretty drastic cuts today. And that's all right. The tree was nice and healthy. I'm just going to clean up some of these nubs back here so you can see. A little more. So this side branch here coming off, it's not bad. It's a little long and straight, so I'm going to take it back to about here. That way, preferably, it comes up, grows out, and then goes back in that direction somewhat. Now we need to decide about this sacrificial branch. There's two of them. We don't want that. So I'm going to get rid of one. I see one little coming up there. Can't decide if I want to keep that sacrificial branch or not. The root base is pretty good. Let me give you a closer look at it. Okay, there's a little bit closer look. And I'm actually, now that I'm looking at it from this view, from your point of view, I think I am going to move the front slightly over to the right, kind of like that. Probably closer to where it originally was, ironically. So let's look at the base here. The Nabari is pretty good. Got some good roots here. It's going to take some cleanup when the day comes for me to actually repot it into a bonsai pot. This is definitely not its forever pot. I just wanted to give it a lot of good growing room when I repotted it. It's got a good gnarly looking trunk base here, which is kind of what you want. It's what I want, at least, for a crabapple tree. Crabapples are not meant, in my opinion, to be beautiful, pristine, flawless looking trunks. They're supposed to be kind of rugged and, you know, gnarly. And this one is. So back to the question at hand. The question at hand is to keep the sacrificial branch or not. If we do, it'll create more growth right here. Is that where we want more growth, is the question. If I could wave my magic wand and pick a spot, I would rather have it right there. Because you might notice a little gap there. See, this knot comes out and then there's like a gap under there. Don't really like that. But that's not where it is. It's over here. I think for now we're going to leave it. Because I did so many severe cuts today, we're just going to leave it for now. Okay, I'm going to apply a little bit of cut paste here. Some of this stuff. I don't know a ton about crabapple trees, just for the record. I am not an expert on them or anything like that. But from what I have heard and understand, they're a little bit more susceptible to certain pests and diseases than some other trees. And so, as a result, sorry for the focus there. As a result, definitely want to put some cut paste on these cuts to help reduce the risk of any of that. I can say, from my experience at least, they are more susceptible to pests like aphids. My old nemesis, aphids. We have a long running history. House that I lived at a few years ago had a bad aphid infestation. Super bad. I finally, at least temporarily, defeated them, but it wasn't easy. I had to use a lot of pesticides. The trick to it was hitting all the aphid spots real hard with whatever pesticide works for you. And then the next day, or maybe 2 days even later, spray it down really good with water. I mean, really just hammer it with water. And that gets rid of any leftover eggs and, you know, bug carcasses and that kind of thing. Sounds gross, but that's what it is. And then you hit it again with pesticides 2 or 3 days later after you do all that. Because there's going to be some that you miss. No matter how thoroughly you soak it with pesticides, you're going to miss a few. And it only takes a few to multiply and get a few more thousand. So that was how I finally did it. Hit it hard, wait a day or two, rinse, and repeat. And that was it. So there we go for the cut paste. Let's take a final look at it. Okay. Couple last things here I'll point out. One, I forgot to deal with this guy here. So with this being the front, I don't want this branch coming back in like that. I'm going to get rid of that real quick. Like so. And then I do need to trim up this part right here. There we go. That branch is a little low and close to the trunk, so I'll keep an eye on that. And then 2, I'm also going to keep an eye on this one because, again, with this being the front, typically don't want branches coming back inward. You always want them going out. But I'm hedging my bets that this one, when it regrows, is going to grow back out that way. That was what we hoped for when we made the cut in the spot that we made it. The last leaf being here, so that should, in theory, be the direction the branch goes. It should, in theory, grow back out that way. If not, we'll deal with it then. But otherwise, that's it. So that is an update and a trim on my $20 Costco crabapple tree that I've had for a few years now. I'll keep you posted on how it goes. Please like and subscribe, and you can see updates on this and some of the other trees. I've got lots and lots of them. I try to post my wins and my losses. And the reason that I do these videos is A, for me to keep track of them, and B, so that others can learn, you know, from my trials and errors and mistakes and successes and everything else. Because that's how I learned, was from YouTube, watching guys try things, and, you know, sometimes they won, sometimes they didn't, but that's how we learn. So thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.